Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. In this video, I will discuss with you three topics. Number one, what do you mean by a solution and what are the components of a solution? Second, examples of a chemical change. And third, example showing that chemical and physical changes occur together. So in this video, I am going to cover these three topics. So I will start with the first topic, that is, what do you mean by solution? So basically, solution is what? Solution is a homogeneous mixture of solute and solvent, or we can also say that homogeneous mixture of two and more than two components. So now, what are the components of a solution? How this solution is made up of? What we call the components constituting a solution. So one component is known as solute and the other component is known as solvent. How we can define a solute? Solute is always present in less quantity, and solvent always present in more quantity. So whenever we form a solution, solutes always it is having less quantity, and solvent it is having more quantity. So I will give you one example. So if a solution of salt, when we dissolve 1 spoon of salt in water, then we will get a solution which is known as salt solution. So in salt solution, what we can say, salt we are adding it in small quantity, so it is getting dissolved in liquid or in water. So the substance which gets dissolved in a solvent, that substance is known as solute, and here salt is a solute. Now second, water, we can see in the diagram, water is in large quantity, it is a liquid, so water is dissolving solute in it. So that is why the substance which dissolves solute in it, that substance is known as solvent. So solvent is in more quantity, solute it is in less quantity. So this is how we can explain the components of a solution. Now next topic is chemical changes. So what are chemical changes? The change is known as chemical change when it is permanent and whenever there is change in chemical composition. So if chemical composition of a substance changes, then we can say that change is known as chemical change. So how I can say, I will give you one example. Hydrogen when react with oxygen, there will be formation of water. So two molecules of hydrogen when they combine with one molecule of oxygen, there will be formation of two molecules of water. So before the reaction, the reactants were hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen is also a type of gas, oxygen is also a type of gas. And after the reaction, what happens? The chemical composition changes. So there will be formation of two gases, they combine, they react together to form a liquid substance, and which is known as water. So this is how we can say that chemical change is that change in which there is change in chemical composition. So I am going to discuss various examples of a chemical change. Now first example is burning. So burning is very common example we can see around us. So burning is what? Burning, whenever we burn any substance. Now which substance undergo burning? The substances which catch fire easily. Those substances are known as combustible substances. For example, LPG, piece of paper, CNG, coal, petroleum. So these are the substances which catch fire easily or which undergo burning easily. Those substances are known as combustible substances. So now second is non-combustible substances. These are the substances which do not catch fire easily. For example, stone. A piece of stone is a type of non-combustible substance. Now what is burning? Whenever these substances, combustible substances, they combine with oxygen and by getting ignition temperature, they will change into new substance. For example, carbon when combined with oxygen, whenever we burn carbon, carbon will form a new substance which is known as carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is formed by the reaction of carbon and oxygen. This is a type of chemical change. Now this carbon dioxide, normally we cannot convert this carbon dioxide back into carbon and oxygen. So it is a type of permanent change. It cannot be reversed back easily by using physical methods. Now second example I am going to explain, that is rusting. So what is rusting? Corrosion in case of iron. Basically, which metal? Iron. Corrosion in case of iron is known as rusting. So what happens in rusting? Iron, it get combined with oxygen and water, or generally we can say that moist air, because we know that air also contain water vapors. So in the presence of moisture, iron react with oxygen and water to form iron oxide. So what is the formula for that? Fe2O3 dot XH2O. So new oxide is formed, new substance is formed. Now this substance is known as rust. So once the rust is formed, this rust cannot be converted back into iron and oxygen or water. So thus we can say that rusting is an example of chemical change, because we cannot reverse this change, and once the rusting is done, it cannot be reversed back into iron and oxygen. So rusting is an example of chemical change. Now third we have example, cooking of food. So this is very common example. Everybody we can see in a kitchen. How food undergo cooking. So now food, whenever we change pulses, or you can say on being cooked, taste of vegetables and composition of vegetables changes. Also we can say that the green vegetables, we cannot obtain green vegetables from vegetable curry. So once the food is cooked, it cannot be converted back into raw material. So thus we can say that cooking of food is also an example of chemical change. So I can write here, the cooked food or cooked vegetable cannot be converted back into, we cannot change it back into raw vegetable. So cooked vegetable cannot be converted back into raw vegetable. So thus we can say that cooking of food is an example of chemical change. Now after this, next example we have the curdling of milk. Again, very important. We can see in our houses, formation of curd from milk. So milk when changes to curd. So what is how we can say the chemical composition changes. Milk contain a sugar which is known as lactose sugar. Now, due to the presence of bacteria, due to the action of bacteria, this lactose sugar get converted into lactic acid. Now, once the lactic acid is formed, it cannot be converted back into lactose. So, thus we can say that curdling of milk is a type of chemical change, because new substances being formed during this change. Now, next example we have charring of sugar. So first of all, you should understand what is the meaning of charring. Charring is, we can say, charring is a type of partial decomposition or partial combustion. So incomplete decomposition, or we can say decomposition of sugar, which is not complete, partial decomposition of sugar is known as charring of sugar. So sugar when we take and we burn it. So sugar contain carbon, oxygen and hydrogen. So these are the compound it is a compound of carbon, oxygen and hydrogen. So on burning, what will happen? First sugar will melt and then it will change into a black mass. So solid black mass is formed. Now this process is known as charring of sugar, and it is a type of chemical change, because once the black mass is formed, that black mass cannot be converted back into, we cannot convert that mass back into sugar. So thus we can say that it is a type of chemical change. Now the next example we have digestion, which is very common example we can see in our body. Digestion is what? Breakdown of bigger molecule into smaller ones. So once the food get digested, it cannot be converted back into the food which we have consumed. So thus we can say that again digestion is a type of chemical change. Next we have important example which is known as fermentation. So what is the meaning of fermentation? It is also a type of decomposition process, but how it occurs? It always occurs in the presence of, or you can say it is a conversion process, chemical process, where sugar solution changes to alcohol in the presence of enzymes. So now what are enzymes? Enzymes are the biological catalyst. What is catalyst? Catalyst is a substance which help in or which increase the rate of reaction without getting involved in the reaction. So enzymes are the biological catalysts. They occur inside the living organism. They, or you can say they help in the various processes inside the living organisms. So in the presence of enzymes, the conversion sugar solution converts to alcohol. That process of conversion is known as fermentation. So now in this process, carbon dioxide gas is also formed, and that gas we can see in the form of froth. Now that process, or we can say fermentation, is also a type of chemical change, because once the alcohol is formed, it is a new substance. It cannot be converted back into sugar solution. Now the next example we have photosynthesis. So what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the formation, the process by which green plants, they can make their food in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. So I will write here example. Green plant, they use carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and in the presence of pigment called chlorophyll. What they form? They form a new substance which is known as glucose. Along with the formation of glucose, oxygen gas is also formed. So thus in this reaction we can see new substances forming, and this substance, once it is formed, cannot be converted back into carbon dioxide and oxygen by the process photosynthesis. So this change is known as chemical change, because it is a type of permanent change and a new substance is formed during this change. Now the next example we have respiration. So what is respiration? Respiration is the process of getting energy by breakdown of food in the form of glucose. So glucose inside the living organisms, inside the cells in the body of living organisms, in the presence of oxygen, this glucose, it will undergo oxidation to form carbon dioxide, water, plus release of energy can be seen. So now energy will be formed, carbon dioxide gas and water will be formed. So thus we can say that in this case new substances are formed which cannot be reversed back by reversing the conditions. So thus respiration is also a type of chemical change. Now next topic which is related to chemical and physical changes, that is conservation of mass in a chemical change. So what is the meaning of conservation? Conservation means to save. So here what we can say, Lavoisier was the scientist who has given for the first time this law which is known as law of conservation of mass. According to him, according to this law, mass of the reactants, total mass of the reactants in a reaction is always equal to total mass of the product. Now how we can explain it? Carbon when one in the presence of oxygen, it will form carbon dioxide. Now total mass of carbon and oxygen together, it will be equal to total mass of carbon dioxide which is formed after the reaction. So mass of the reactant, let it be carbon plus oxygen, they are having mass X. And then when carbon and oxygen, they combine to form carbon dioxide, the mass of the product will also be equal to X. So thus we can say that this is how we can explain the law of conservation of mass. Now every reaction we will study further in higher classes. All the reactions, they have to satisfy law of conservation of mass. Then only that reaction can be considered as balanced chemical equation. If the reaction will not satisfy this law, then that reaction is known as unbalanced chemical equation. So that we are going to study in higher classes. So now after this, next part I want to explain the example which shows us that physical and chemical changes, they occur together. Now the best example or the best changes, both physical and chemical changes, we can see when a candle burns. So during the burning of candle, physical and chemical changes can be seen together. How? Now we know that in a candle we are having a thread in the center. Now this thread is known as wick. Now when wick burns in a candle, then what happened? Flame we can see. Now the wax which is near to the wick, that wax will undergo melting, and the molten wax, it will come in contact with flame and it will undergo burning. Some part of the wax will undergo burning, and after burning, what it will form? Because wax also contain carbon and hydrogen. It is made up of hydrocarbon. So hydrocarbons are what? They are the compounds of hydrogen and carbon. So carbon and hydrogen present in wax, when they undergo burning, they will form carbon dioxide and water vapor. So as new substances are formed by the burning of wax, thus we can say that burning of wax is a type of chemical change. On the other hand, we can see some part of the wax, it will flows down and then at the bottom it will solidify. It will change into solid wax. Now solidification of wax is a type of physical change. Why it is a type of physical change? Because there is no formation of new substance. It is similar to that of the wax which was present in original candle. So thus we can say that burning of candle is an example in which both physical and chemical changes can happen together. So in this burning of candle, burning of wax is a type of chemical change and melting of wax is a type of physical change. I hope the things are clear to you. Still, if you have any doubt, any query related to these three topics, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you very much. Have a good day.